Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast. This is the podcast where we have digital discussions for the worlds of social media, sports, and pop culture. And today is our CCHL special. We are talking to three players that play in the CCHL. I'm quickly going to introduce the panel. First, we have defenseman for the Ottawa Junior Senators, Merrick Rippon is with us. Merrick, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And then we have defenseman for the Brockville Braves, Cameron Crotty is with us. Cam, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And we have forward for the Pembroke Lumberkings, Matthew Barnaby is with us. Matt, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. So right off the bat, big year for all three of you. We'll start with Merrick. You committed to Providence College. Talk a little bit about how exciting that was to get that announcement out.
It was great news for me and for my family to know we made a decision on where I was about to go for college. And I thought Providence was the right fit. So I made my decision quite quickly after my visit, but it was early in the year, but I think it was the right time for me. Like, once you find the fit, the boys will agree with it. It's just a quick decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Cam, you were at Boston University. I mean, that must have been exciting. And we spoke about this couple of weeks ago about on showcase weekend where you didn't even realize that they wanted to talk to you.
It was like you said, we talked about before. After the showcase, they pulled me aside and I was like, are you serious? This is Boston University talking to me right now. So I mean, a lot of the same things that Rip said. For me, it was I already went through the process the year before. Then unfortunately things didn't work out, and I had to kind of step back and reevaluate. And it kind of led me to Boston. I went down for my visit in late September, early October, and I was like, wow, this is really the place for me. It was I met the coaching staff, and they were really, really good. They're great hockey minds. And then I got to, pick the players' brains a little bit and see what they were thinking, and everything was just pointing, it was thumbs up from everybody. So it was a great fit for me. And then, I just kind of made my decision. I went with my gut, and I'm really happy that I made my decision.
Mm-hmm. And Matthew, you committed to Lake Superior State, and talking to you a little bit, it was more about making sure that your game was properly refined and developed over time, correct?
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to go somewhere where I was going to be looked on a little more than I would if I went to a bigger school like these two guys. But it's a good, like they said, it's a good fit wherever you go, and you kind of know when you find it, and the coaching staff, and just the way that they kind of handle their players, and it's a smaller school, so it was just it's a great fit for me, and I'm sure the other schools for the other guys are perfect for them, and it's kind of the same for everyone. So once you find that fit, you kind of know where you're gonna end up.
Yeah, absolutely. And we, of course, wish all three of you the best once you hit college. But now it's time for specific questions for all three of you. We'll start with Merrick. My specific question for you is, you come into U18 HEO Mid AAA last year, first year of the league, and you are immediately an impact player. You come into CCHL this year for your first year, immediately an impact player. Talking to a lot of scouts, to talk to a lot of people, they see that with your game. You're that, two-way defenseman that could play and make a big impact right away on the score sheet and defensively as well. So is it safe to say that you want to be that player that even when you go play college or even pro, that right away, even if you're a rookie or starting out, you want to make an impact to help your team win right off the bat, Merrick?
For sure. I think if you can be an impact player right away, it'd be great. But obviously the leagues get harder and harder, so I guess you got to get better and better. But
it was a big jump between midget AAA and Junior A. Like U18 for Junior A is a huge jump. You talk to a lot of players that played in both leagues, and it's like a completely different game.
Yeah, it is, but I think I got lucky playing up last year in playoffs. That kind of prepared me for this year. Mm-hmm. But I guess I guess junior A to college is going to be a huge jump too.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously, I probably won't be able to be the same impact player, but I hope I can be, and like maybe kind of get there midway through the season.
No, absolutely. That's good, and I think it just gives you more time to grow too, and figure out what route you want to take with your game. And and Cam, we've talked about this before. Talking to a lot of people around the rink, your skating is something that people really talk about. Your skating ability, your technique. And I understand that that's something that you really take pride in, and this has been going back since you were, really, really young age, right? Where you were working on your skating.
Yeah, well, we talked about it a little bit before too. I started skating when I was 3, and I don't know. I thought this was normal, but I guess when I was talking to you, it's not that common. But I actually was taught by figure skaters how to skate. So I was going out twice a week when I was 3 years old with my brother and sister. Well, when my sister got older, but at the start it was just me and my brother, and it was kind of weird because it's a different style, figure skating, obviously, than hockey. But there's a lot of things that translate pretty well, especially with backwards skating. They really emphasized like powerful crossovers and having a low base and stuff like that. So it was a long time ago, but it was really good, like fundamental basics for me to build off of. And I think that really helped me and has continued to help me from like transitioning from, a young guy and to the skater I am now. So I think that's probably a huge important part of why I can skate the way I do now. So.
No, absolutely. And you make that clear in an article that can be featured on CCHL's website called The Cam Crotty System, written by someone who's tried very hard to be a sports writer and a podcast host. But Matt Barnaby is with us as well. And Matthew, you're the son of former NHL player Matthew Barnaby, who spent a lot of time with Buffalo, Dallas Stars as well. And it's no secret you play a completely different game than your dad.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, growing up, being around that environment, maybe while your dad was with the Sabres, was there anyone that you were like when you wanted to be a hockey player, you were like modeling your game after, that you were around, like with your dad being an NHL player, that you were looking at, be like, yeah, this is cool, I want to kind of play like?
I don't know if there was one single player. I mean, I liked watching Mike Modano growing up, and my dad played with him for a little bit. But based on why I didn't want to be a fighter, it's pretty easy. I saw my dad get beat up a lot, so it's like that's not really fun. I'd rather do what they do, score goals instead of get punched in the face. But yeah, I liked watching Mike Modano a lot, and besides him, no one else. But yeah, it was pretty easy choice. It was either you could score goals and get all the fame, or you can just kind of get punched in the face. So it was definitely an easy choice, deciding which route to take.
I mean, enforcers are really in the public eye these past couple of months, though, with like that movie. There's that documentary Ice Guardians that came out about the enforcers, and we had the director and producer Adam Scorgia on the show about that, and we actually had so the movie Goon is actually based on a real person. And we had the real Doug the Thug Smith on the show, which was pretty crazy.
That's pretty cool, yeah. I think the enforcers, it's definitely still needed in the game, but I'm only 150 pounds, so that's not I'll let someone else, kind of throw their hands around.
No, absolutely. And you look at Max Domi, right? Like he plays he has kind of a similar situation to you, right? Where his dad was kind of an enforcer, and now he's kind of that, that sniper that could, really be speedy and make you pay, which is kind of like your game as well, right? You have an ability to snipe and get around your opponent. I've seen you score some pretty big goals in pretty opportune times, and I think your dad was doing a completely different style when he was playing.
Yeah. No, I think he's happier that I'm not fighting either, because I don't think he wants to watch that.
Yeah, that was my next question. That was my next question. Like, what does he think about your style of play, and how has it been having a dad who's had experience in the NHL? It must be a really good opportunity in terms of getting mentored and having advice from him.
Yeah, it's he's taught me definitely a lot. He's been my coach before moving on to Avon and then here, but yeah, he definitely he never really pushed me to fight or anything like that. I think he knew I was kind of always a little soft, but yeah, he never made me fight or anything like that. And,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he kind of taught me what to do if I do get into a fight, if that ever happens. Hopefully not, but yeah, he's always wanted me to be a skill guy and just kind of taught me more to stick handle than to throw the fists around when I was a kid for sure. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So,
he's definitely on board with that.
So the questions that I asked you though, they were okay questions. They weren't hard questions because your dad tweeted at me last night saying, "Don't ask him any tough questions," and I was like, "Oh man."
Yeah, no, not the smartest kid. So as long as I can understand the question in full, then I'll answer it for you. But no, those weren't too bad. It's usually those dad questions. I get those a lot. So
Okay.
those are just in the back of the head.
All good. Perfect. And we're gonna move on now, and I want to talk specifically about all of your hockey careers specifically. I want to talk about those moments in your careers because you all are really still young guys, but you've had the opportunities to be a part of some really big games with some really big moments. You know, whether it's playoffs, whether it's like you, Cam and Matt, you guys were at the Prospects game for CCHL. And we'll start with Merrick. What was a moment so far in your hockey career that has that stands out to you as like the most special moment? Whether it was you getting drafted, whether it was your first goal, is there anything specific, Merrick, that stands out?
I don't think I have anything really specific. Like, there's no one moment where I was like, wow, but I'd say there's a lot. Like, last year playing in Game 7 as a 15-year-old was pretty cool. Like, we lost, but it was still a really sick experience, and my commitment was obviously huge. I felt really good after that. In terms of on ice wise, I'd probably say back in the 67s days, my I guess minor hockey team, we won 3 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So the third one was obviously pretty cool, and to be with most of the same guys, it was huge.
Mm-hmm. Cam, what about you?
I mean,
World Junior A Challenge, maybe?
yeah, I'd probably say that. I mean, I'm hoping that like my best hockey moment is kind of yet to come, but as of now, I'd probably say the experience of getting to go over to Bonnyville and play with some of the best players around at that time or at that level. It was good. It was like a humbling experience because you go from a good junior A league here and then you play against kind of some of the best players from the other leagues, and you're like, wow, these are some really good hockey players. And then ultimately we ended up kind of shocking the tournament and making it to the finals as a team that on paper wasn't really slotted to make the finals. So we ended up with the silver medal, which was a really cool experience, and I'm definitely gonna remember that for a long time. So I'd probably say as of right now, that's probably my greatest hockey moment.
Good. And Matt, what about you?
Yeah, mine's a little different than that. Probably not as big, but growing up in the States, you played to go to nationals every year, and winning the state tournament was pretty cool. I'm with my team, just like a bunch of buddies I grew up with. So yeah, when I was 14, we ended up winning states, and that was a pretty cool experience.
Absolutely. And social media is a big part of the show. We always talk about it, and Matt, we'll start with you. I mean, I don't want to really go on and on about it, but social, like a lot of hockey players have different perspectives about social media, whether if they want to use it, whether they don't want to use it at all. We know Instagram for some reason is huge in the hockey community. What's your perspective on players using and not using Instagram, and whether you think that it could be a distraction come down the road, whether in big games or big tournaments? What is your standpoint on that?
Yeah, I don't really think it could be too much of a distraction, as long as you kind of just focus. As long as you're not using it like an hour before the game or stuff like that, you kind of put your phone away. But I don't know. I think the biggest thing is just making sure the guys are being careful with what they post and, just double checking. Remember that it is public and other people can see it and it gets sent around and stuff like that. So just, kind of just double check what you're posting and making sure that, nothing that you don't want out there is obviously up on the internet, because it stays with you forever, and, you just got to be careful.
In the CCHL, do any of your coaches, Merrick, Cam, or Matt, do any of your coaches or any of your managers, is there any coaching that happens, or do they talk to you a little bit about what to tweet or what to not tweet, or haven't happened yet?
If I can go
I haven't
first.
had anything yet.
Okay.
No.
I think at the start of the year, they just let us know to be smart with whatever social media we use, because it could impact the team. But
Because
that's
I
about
know,
it.
I know now in major junior specifically, they have not courses, but they'll have before the season starts a big session.
Yeah.
On how to use social media. But I think too, that's because a lot of those players end up going to big prospect camps and everything. So I feel like that's all involved with that, because I think it's important, especially you guys are going to NCAA schools, right? And we all know that there's a lot of policies and a lot of rules with that too, right, Cam?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we haven't even gotten a taste of it, but obviously you gotta, you're in the public eye, at the junior level, especially here in Brockville, and I'm sure in Pembroke and Ottawa. Well, maybe not so much Ottawa, but especially in Pembroke. You're definitely in the public eye, and once you go up to the college level and beyond, I'm sure it just kind of escalates and gets more intense, and then with regulations and stuff like that, I haven't experienced it, so I can't really comment, but I'm sure it's everything's pretty mandated, and I don't know what else to say really, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. Now this is our second kind of CCHL theme panel. We actually had members of the Cumberland Grads on the show. We had Jared Leslie, Zach Saloom, Roman Cannell, and of course Keenan Reynolds, who actually gave me a pretty good idea. He actually asked a question to the panel, a would you rather question, and I'm actually gonna ask you guys a would you rather question right now. But it's nothing too wacky or goofy, but I just want to know, and staying with kind of the social media, the social media kind of theme, would you rather give up? Now that I think of this question, it's really stupid, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. But okay, so would you rather give up Instagram, because we all know a lot of you love your Instagram, or have a grocery store come up to you and say, if you name your firstborn child after our grocery store, you will get free groceries from our store for a lifetime?
Wow.
That
is a weird question.
I know Rippon's choice right off the bat.
Yeah. It's tough because there's a lot of different elements that come into play too, right?
I don't
my
Instagram's not very followed or anything, but I spent a ton of time on it.
I can't believe you guys are actually. I mean, you're gonna get free groceries forever.
Oh, mine's easy. I'm giving up the groceries. Instagram 100%.
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah, I knew that was
not even
coming.
close.
I knew that was coming.
What?
I got 2,000 followers. Something
Yeah.
Because I was expecting
on Instagram.
when I said when I said it's a stupid question, because I thought all of you were gonna be like, you're dumb, we're gonna go with groceries.
Oh,
But
not even close. I'll stick with going to Whole Foods or something, but
Man, I don't want to name my kid after a stupid grocery store. I'm gonna keep Instagram as well. I mean,
hi, this is my son Loblaws.
yeah, no thanks. No
Rippon's
thanks.
keeping Instagram too. I know.
Oh,
that
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, he hasn't
Yeah.
said
No way.
anything.
100%.
Yeah, no. When I was in grad school, someone brought up the grocery store question, and it was split right down the middle. Some
Really?
people were like, "Yeah, we'll do it 100%," and some people were like, "No." But it wasn't maybe it was legit.
Well,
Like
maybe
50-50. People were like, no, we're not doing that. And then people were like, 100% I'm doing that. So it was,
that's no.
yeah,
No
I know
thanks.
it's a
No,
crazy,
thank you.
it's a crazy question. And
If I thought someone was gonna take the groceries, it was gonna be Cam.
Yeah,
This is
probably
why
me.
it's a Temple.
Yeah, no,
But no, I guess Instagram. I know Rippon doesn't even have to answer the question.
no. Yeah.
So, all three of you had different years, different experiences. For two of you, it was your first year in the CCHL. Cam came in as a 16-year-old, so it was his second year. But Matt, how would you describe your year in general, and what specifically do you want to work on for next year?
Yeah, it was great. You know, playing with it was the first time really playing against like men, playing against older boys, like men's hockey, and it was great. I got to learn from a couple of great older guys, and Gilmore, who ended up leaving early and stay, and
Yes, St. Lawrence,
Wes Ashley,
right?
who's now in Hawkesbury. But yeah, it was a great experience, and I just hope I could really work on playing defense a little more and my skating over the summer, and just kind of watching some tape and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been great. I've had a great vet. Justin Felleber, great kid, and just it's been awesome. I couldn't have asked for a better rookie season.
Awesome. Cam, what about you? I mean, playoffs around the corner too, so.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's been kind of a frustrating year for me. I've had a couple of injuries that were, not really in the game plan when I kind of looked at how the season would go for me, which was kind of tough. But I mean, for the season that I have been in the lineup for, it's been really good, really fun. We're playing some really good hockey now, going into playoffs. So hopefully we can go as far as we can in the playoffs and get some good experience. I know last year, even though we only made it 2 rounds, but it was some of the most fun hockey I've had the chance to play. So, but this year, I mean, I've been happy with my game. I think some of the things that I probably need to implement in my game, like I want to be, similar to what Rip said earlier, kind of that two-way guy who can definitely be played in almost every situation. So I definitely need to kind of pick up my offensive game. Obviously, my offensive production's not where it needs to be or where it could be. So I think, taking little strides to try and, whether to improve my shot or mentally putting myself in better positions to take shots or whatever it may be. I think that's probably one part of my game that I need to excel to kind of, excel at the next level. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Merrick, what about you to round off this panel? The blonde hair is in full effect, man. Ready to go.
I think I've had a pretty good year. My start of the year wasn't really good. It was pretty dry. I don't think I had a point for the first 10 or 9 games, and I wasn't playing terrible hockey, but it just wasn't my game. And then I started just to focus on what needed to be my primary focus, playing defense, and then the points started to roll in, and I think the room really helped me. Like the boys are great guys on the team, and yeah, I've been guided properly by other players, and just putting in the work during the year also helped me a lot. Like instead of just stopping my improvement in the summer, I kept going during the year, and I think that gives me quite a bit of confidence to know I can still do some of the things I work on in the summer. But yeah, I'd say my year's gone pretty well.
Awesome. Well, thank you all three for coming on. Matt, thanks for coming on, man. Any closing remarks?
No, thank you for having me.
Awesome. Cam, thanks a lot. All the best in playoffs.
Yeah, thank you.
And Merrick, the hair is ready to go, man. All the best.
Real.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Perfect. Well, this has been Popternative. You can catch previous episodes of Popternative on our YouTube page, and you can find audio-only episodes on our SoundCloud and iTunes. You can like us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter, or follow us on Instagram as well, Popternative_official, unless I choose to name my kid after groceries. and I will not have an Instagram. But yeah, thank you all. All the best to you, Merrick, Cam, and Matt down the road for your hockey careers, and thank you for coming on. And we hope everyone enjoyed this interview. Have a great rest of the week.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.